How do we know this? I've explained how these DNA changes came about, how I'm able to read them, and how we can build trees from them. But I haven't really explained to you how I can tell the last part of the puzzle, how it all fits together and how I can tell if someone's a Pictish descendant or not. And this is the bit where we map the tree onto the geography. We try to work out where ancestral types were. And I'm going to show you an example for the mitochondrial tree of the planet here. So here we've got mitochondrial Eve, the ancestress of all of us in our maternal lines, using data from the lab in Munich, Labor Pebo, actually from when I used to work there in 1999. And what we see here is a tree, like I was showing you before, showing how closely related different people are, and it's labelled with where they come from. I don't know if you can read it, but I'll read it to you as we go through it. And each of the groups has been given a letter. Some of you are J1B1, some of you are in H1A, these guys are in L3, L2, M and N. These are supergroups, mother groups of all these other groups. So what we do is to look where they're from. So Chuchi, these are Siberian, Australian Aborigines. Pima, they're from native North Americans. Italians, Papua New Guineans, Germans, Uzbeks, Dutch, French, pretty mixed bunch. But these are essentially Eurasians. I'm treating Oceania and also the Americas as part of Asia because they were clearly populated from Asia. So this is a Eurasian group. And we can infer that the ancestress at this point in the tree, the mother who carried the N marker, in which the N marker happened, she was living somewhere in Eurasia. We do the same thing with these guys. So we've got an Indian, a Chinese, an Australian, Buryat from Siberia, Inuit. They're all Asian. This is an Asian group. And so we can just work out, from looking where people are today, where the ancestress was found. She was found in Asia. What about this L3 group here? Mkamba, Iwondo, Bamileke, Lisongo. These are typically West African tribes, and indeed, this is an African group. And we can continue this. The Mandenka are from Senegal, and so on. The Igbo and Benjeli are pygmies from West Africa, and these guys here who have the most divergent DNA of all, the San of the Kalahari and the Mbuti pygmies, they're also African. So we're able to infer that this ancestress here is African, this one's African, this one's African. That's easy enough, yeah? The next trick is to try to work out these guys here further back in the tree. So, hang on, this is in the wrong order. Because these lot are African and these lot here are African, we can infer that all the way down this branch is actually African. So these guys here are African as well, and indeed because these lot here are African, these guys here are African. And this is how we know that Eve was African. This is how we know that human beings originated in Africa. Because the deepest, both sides of the deepest branch of this tree are found in Africa. You only find Europeans and Asians in these two small subgroups of the entire tree. And it's exactly this process of working out where an ancestress or an ancestor were in the past that allows us to understand which type of DNA people have. It's called phylogeography. Philo is a Greek word meaning race, but in this sense it means tree. It's putting the tree onto geography.